Hey everyone, welcome to another video review. This is the Transformers Age of the Prime's Titan class star Optimus Prime, one of the 13th Prime. You can see his box right there because, well, his figure is because size, his figure can't be in the same frame. But you can see nice artwork on the box. You got, star Optimus Prime, there in all three of his modes, and you got the little Micromaster Hot Rod right there, and you got several other Primes that have been revealed so far. Well, most of them. There's a couple have been revealed since this box art was revealed, but yeah. In the background there, on the top you have, hey look, Transformers 13 star Optimus Prime. Hey look, there's the full mural of the 13 statues, which is pretty neat. So, we've seen quite a few of these guys so far. It's still weird that this is supposed to be Star Optimus Prime, considering, it's a very Power Master Prime chest, but whatever. You got that. On the side here, you have hey look, there's Star Optimus Prime in a really cool pose, all the way through, like that. On this side, it's again that part of the, 13 Prime statues, Titan class right there. On the bottom, you have not much except what's included, some manufacturing details, and I guess some recycling. And of course, on the back, you have a whole bunch of product shots of, various things you can do and whatnot, and all that, and more authentic Transformers and all that stuff. So that's the box. And of course, included are the instructions, which are, it's pretty straightforward actually, because he's really simple. There's just a lot to cover, so there's because you can see there's a lot of instructions, mostly because the figure itself is actually pretty simple. It's just there's a lot of accessories with him, so bear with me. Star Optimus Prime. Yep, here he is. He's a big guy. Oh, he's kind of small for Titan class, for what we've seen, but he's a fairly big guy for in general. But yeah, a couple things you do have to go out of the box to fix them up. First thing, one of the things is you need these antennae. You have to attach them. There's a little weird hinge and peg thing, so it's like you have to push them on. They're kind of difficult, so I don't want to pull them back off to show that part off. But yeah, they're kind of hinge. You have to push them on and then peg them in like that. Of course, the shoulder cannons, you have to peg those onto the top of the shoulder, so you can see right there. Just peg them in like so, like that, and that. Those two things you got to do right there out of the box. And on top of that, also attaching these pieces, this one and this one, to the back of the legs as well. So coming back here, yeah, out of the box, you basically have to attach these guys really quick. Just just like that. It's pretty straightforward. Just there's a big old clamp. There's a this and that, and there you go. And then he's pretty much ready to go. But yeah. Once you do that, he's pretty much ready to go, and yeah, he looks really good. A couple little problems, just a couple small ones, little annoying ones, but yeah, he's pretty good overall. The couple of small problems, actually, before I get into those. You can see his head, very Optimus-y head, although very stylized. He's supposed to have light piping. Unfortunately, you can see it doesn't work very well. You see, there's I'm not sure how well you can see it, but there is right there, like little spots, but they're so tiny it doesn't work very well. So you can see not making much of a difference if I cover it up or not. So that you got the Autobot symbol with the little chevrons beneath. You got the star thing in his hood, a very stylized, very stylized version of what you see for the usual for Optimus Prime. Getting down, you got his, I guess, black trousers, his gray, blue and yellow legs with some black feet. Some gray on the sides as well, mostly red at the top as well, and on the back he cleans up pretty well. He's got a very minimal backpack. Again, he's got the treads on the back of his legs, but yeah, generally he looks like Star Convoy, which I might be switching between Star Optimus and Star Convoy a lot, just because it's like Star Optimus is a very weird name, but I can also understand why they didn't use it because of the whole that's Convoy is what he says in Japan, not everywhere else. Yeah, a couple problems out of the box. A couple problems he has, which one of them is pretty much entirely aesthetic, and the other one might be a concern over time. The chest window is the big thing. A lot of people reported outside of the box, basically there's little gaps right here, particularly in the corners right here. You can see there's no gaps here because it's easy to fix, actually. To fix it, there's little gaps. Basically, it wasn't seated right when it was manufactured. So it will stay in place. It's not like it's going to break or move around or anything. It's entirely second, so it doesn't affect anything. But if you want to fix it, you just have to open this up. Right here, these three screws, you got to remove those. You can pop this out. This will come off too. The little star piece will also come off too, so be mindful of that. And then you have to readjust these. And there's right here, you can see there's these pegs and like peg holes right here. There's pegs on the red bit and peg holes on the windshield. You have to rearrange it so those actually pop into place, because that's what the problem is. The pegs are not sitting properly. So you have to rearrange it so you hear them both audibly pop and click into place, you know, basically pop into place. And once that's done, you can then go ahead and re-screw everything, make sure, of course, reattaching this as well, and then everything will be good on that front. And it's, again, it's entirely aesthetic thing, so you don't have to do that if you don't want to, but just some people haven't even noticed unless, you know, it's pointed out to them. So be mindful of that. The other problem that's popped up, and I'm noticing on mine too, which is right here. There's a transformation step which involves the hand sliding around, and I'm sure you can see that, but trying to get in close here. You can see kind of some gnarling on the tabs. There's these little tabs right here on this. This section is a little more prominent. You can see that's some gnarling. Apparently, like, because these hands, like, kind of like they slide around a lot for the transformation. Unfortunately, in the process, there's supposed to be channels in there for the tabs, but unfortunately, it seems like they're not quite as good as they should be, because the tabs are getting, you can see the tabs are getting all smashed, kind of smashed up while they're moving around. So far, yeah, I didn't notice, basically I didn't know about it until someone brought it up, and then I looked and, oh crap, there it is. Yeah, you're right, there is a problem. So someone complained it was causing their wrists to droop. It hasn't done so on mine. Mine are pretty tight so far, but it might be an issue. You might have to do something. Basically, you might have to carve out some plastic inside there, and haven't done it myself, so I don't really know what to do exactly, but apparently, like, they're supposed to be, you can kind of see where the channels for the tabs are supposed to go, and you might be able to carve out enough so the tabs can slide cleanly through. Those are the issues out of the box that you might have to fix. So that's unfortunate. But yeah, other than that, though, he actually generally looks really good as a figure. He looks like Star Convoy, which makes sense. But yeah, as for posability, his head is on a swivel, so it goes left and right. It can go look down, but that's only most of the transformation. It also looks a little weird because basically you're breaking his neck. But yeah, you can do all that. As antenna, I guess you can unplug them and adjust there, but that's really kind of more for, I guess, the base mode. Shoulders, you got full 360 ratchet right there. You also have this is on a peg, so you can swivel and move up and down. And out here, you got outward, right there, about that far. The biceps swivel, there's just friction, and the elbows. Then go 90 degrees forward and actually 90 degrees back as well because of transformation. The hands can swivel as well. There's an opening and closing for fingers for both of them. Just a single, piece right there. The waist, ratchet and swivel. No ab crunch, unfortunately. This kind of gets out of the way. Yeah, it's one single piece, which can upset some people. Hips can also get out of the way right there on the side. And the hips go forward that far, back that far, outward they go full splits right there. There's the thigh swivel, that's just friction. The knees can go almost 90 degrees, not quite, but almost. Weird point of contention that. And then down here at the feet, entirely friction, but the feet can pivot. There's ankle tilt, and it's entirely friction for some reason. Also, I guess the toe can go down, but yeah, that's about it. Toe can go down, but yeah. So yeah, articulation is fairly standard, but nothing amazing. In fact, in some ways, it might be a little. Some people might consider it a little substandard, but yeah, overall, as a figure, it's not bad. Not bad at all. Not as a robot, anyway. Now, as for accessories, like I said, he's got a ton of them. One of them, of course, being his blaster. Big old thing for him. There's a little notch out here, and that's because there's a little blue bullet thing, translucent blue bullet thing, which can actually chamber in there like that. It's pretty cool. Kind of weird, but pretty cool, particularly since also it doesn't actually quite line up with the barrel, but, you know. That's actually there's actually a thing there. And of course, pegs in, there's a little tab there, which I guess goes in a little mushroom thing right there as well to help hold it in place a little bit better. Because that is a very shallow peg, so I'm a little worried about that over time, but you know. He's got that. He's also got this gun, which looks weird. This is supposed to tab in, doesn't tab in super securely, but you know, there's a peg hole in the back, or peg on the back here, which can go into the hand like that, if you like. So that, you can have two guns. Said guns can also have blast effects. There's this big, huge, this solid blue one. This is not the rubbery plastic. This is solid, so you don't have to worry about this messing up your plastic. This can plug into the end of this gun right here, just like that. And it also comes with some of the usual blast effects we've seen before. Namely, hey, look, these are these ones that came with Omega Supreme initially. So these big ones, you know, could separate into multiple pieces. Also has a weird black speck on it. It separates out into multiple pieces or whatever, like that. These can, of course, peg on the end of this gun, like so. You know, either one, either both, or either, whatever. This also has the Siege Jetfire blast effects as well. Two sets of those in yellow, which again, you know, both of them can peg on those, or whatever, however you want, like that. So all of them can peg on there. Yeah, this big blast effect can only go with this gun, at least for the gun wise anyway, because it's, you know, it's a different kind of peg and hole and everything, so it doesn't work with this gun. Now, you can also, an alternative is you could take this little gray piece right here. You could take this and then use that with the blast effect and plug it in right here, and it's supposed to be kind of a, more or less kind of a, I guess, a sword. Oh, it'll look more like a club, if anything. Energon club. Yeah, you could, that can peg into his hands. You know, either one, kind of a sword thing, if you want. Or if you want to use, I guess, an alternative blade. This is something that I guess they prefer for the base mode. But yeah, you can like use this one. They showed this off like, hey, like you can use this, I guess, as a sword? Question mark? Or I guess this, if you want, as well. That's all things you can do. And this piece can be used to attach to this thing and basically make a weird gun. So you take this right here. There's a peg right here. You plug it in the end of this gun, and then you plug this gun into the top of this. And you have, you sure have a thing, is what you have. It's a very strange gun. I don't know what the purpose is, but it's a thing that's official, so woo. It's kind of weird. And of course, this gray thing, if you don't want to just have it, you know, chilling out, you can also just store it in the leg. Down here at the leg, what you can do is just, well, just, yeah, pop this gray bit off and then pop this open, and hey, look, there's a spot right here. You can just peg that in right there like that, and it just stores right there. Close that up like that, like so. So there's that, and a couple other accessories. He's got, well, his actually little 13th Prime crystal orb thing, whatever you call it. It's got the little 13th Prime symbol on it, and that can store away up here in the chest. Just, you know, pop that down. Open this up, and there's a spot right there for it. You just pegs in right there like so, and there you go. There's his orb, just chilling out, and you can store that away right there. That. And a couple more accessories. Well, one of the accessory one's actually a full-blown figure. Coming down here a bit because they're kind of small. Here, you have the little truck thing. Yeah, this was part of one of the accessories with the original Star Convoy, and this is basically was a truck. It's got some rolling wheels. These are just molded in, but these wheels do roll, and, you know, rolls pretty decently. Again, got the all about symbol, and it's a black truck with, you know, nice and blue windows and the red stripe and everything. And it can open up in the back because there's a ramp there, which is perfect for the hot rod. Yep, there's a Micromaster hot rod. I say Micromaster, but he's actually fairly large for a Micromaster. But yeah. It's a Micromaster hot rod, and it's pretty neat looking. Not a bad looking hot rod vehicle, if I do say so myself. Nice little the flame details, although it's kind of weird because it's got the gold hood otherwise. It's got the silver engine. You got the spoiler picked out with the yellow, but of course the big old holes there, I guess, for some reason or another. You got a silver, you know, silver smoke pipes and everything. His back end's a little weird looking. There's a head right there. But yeah, also rolls pretty decently. Again, the friction. The problem is that, again, this table's kind of, friction on this table is a little iffy, so, but it does kind of hook up, and of course this can just roll up in there and just you close them up right there. So there's that, those things, and the other thing, of course, yeah, hot rod here can transform as well, but I'm going to show that in a second because I want to do this comparison real quick before I transform it. Which, yeah, because yeah, it's going to be obvious. Here's the, what was it? Kingdom core class hot rod. Give an idea there, and the vehicle modes, very different ideas here. And clearly both are hot rod, but, you know, very different interpretations of the hot rod thing. So there's that. Yeah, hot rod here can transform. Pretty straightforward. Easy. It's pretty easy too. It's just take the hood here and pop it down and tab in place. Untab the arms out like that. Then take the roof here and untab it and bring it around like this. They'll make the legs like so, and then take the feet here and push those back like that. And there you go. You got hot rod, which again you can see looks a lot like Hot Rod, except well, the spoilers on the legs, but that matches the original Micromaster Hot Rod that came with the original Star Convoy. So I can't fault him for that. It's one of those weird things where it's like either people are going to complain, you know, some purists might complain because, you know, it's not correct for Hot Rod, the spoiler should be on his back. But other than if you did that, then people complain, well, the Micromaster Hot Rod from the original toy had the spoiler on the legs, so kind of one of those situations. But generally, looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Nice bit of paint and stuff. But yeah, he's a little simple because his head, for example, cannot move. There's no movement there. His head, his shoulders on ball joints, so there's rotation there and everything. A little bit outward. His elbows are on ball joints, so you got 4 right there, and also that acts as the rotation point as well. There is no waist swivel whatsoever, even though there's no reason not to. I don't think. It looks for me like they could have absolutely had a waist swivel if you made some tweaks, but I'm not the designer, so I don't know. Ball jointed hips though, so you got forward that far, back that far, and outward. Get that out of the way that far. And down here at the knees, you also have a knee bend, which is a nice full knee bend. That's it. The only swivel there, of course, at the ball joint, which is barely any because of how it's cut, and there's nothing at the feet. Other than I guess you can make that do that, which is only useful in very specific situations, I guess. But yeah, that's the Hot Rod as a whole. Real quick, here's the comparison to the core class Hot Rod again in the robot mode, which honestly, it's weird because like I think this one actually looks overall a little bit better. I don't mind this one, but yeah, I think this one overall looks a little bit better. This one's a bit more posable as a whole. Although he's got the weird thing. He's got the weird thing with like the hollow head, but he's got the hollow. You know, they both got hollow legs, so kind of a crapshoot there. And the other thing is, yeah, you can see there are peg holes, and yes, just confirm that, you know, the weapons, you know, weapon and came with Hot Rod and other core class figures can still, you know, be used by this guy. It's the same peg hole size, so you know you can give him core class weapons. So just so you know on that front, if you need to know that for any reason. So there you go. This is gonna be a weird order because of this figure specifically, and also on top of that, this thing can transform as well. If you want, you can take basically this thing, unplug it from the front, rotate it around. There's this bit right here. Yeah, this bit right here can fold around. Although it's very stiff on mine. That becomes a gun, and then you just plug it in right here. And I guess you plump Hot Rod on top of that, and I guess it's a little gun platform thing or whatever. Pretty straightforward on that, and I also believe these are also, yeah, those are blast effect compatible as well. These guns. So there you go on that. As for this thing to store it away is also pretty straightforward to store it away. Again, just basically take it back to the truck mode. And plugging that back in, closing that up, and right here in the leg, you again untab this bit and open up the front of the leg, like so. So right down here, you can see there's these rectangular notches, or yeah, rectangular cutlets, and there's those rectangles inside the leg. This just plugs on over top of that. It's very secure, by the way. It will plug in there very securely. Some would argue too securely, because it's in there very tight. Some people have resorted to cutting down some plastic in there. It's very difficult to get this back out of the leg sometimes, to say the least. That's also the reason why the legs are hollow in the first place. Some people complain about that because, yeah, this guy's a bit hollow because he's light. And he's light, and people complain about that because, well, of course, it's one of those things where people cannot understand why this thing is the way it is, but, even though there's an obvious reason for it. But, yeah, he can be a bit hollow. Top they also show that, I guess, Hot Rod can plug into or not plug into, but I guess kind of sit in here. Just, you more or less just kind of sit in here. Like that. You just kind of sit in there like that, I guess, chilling out. There's no way to, as far as I can tell, there's no way to, yeah, because of these things, there's no way to, like, leave him in here like he's piloting it, which would have been cool, like a Minimus Animus thing or whatever, like with Ultra Magnus back in the day, but nah, that's not really possible. But you can just kind of sit, chill in there. It doesn't peg in or anything, as far as I can tell. Just kind of chills out in there. So yeah, that's the thing they show you can do. So there you go. That's pretty much everything for the robot mode stuff for now. As for some comparisons with the big guy here himself, getting this down here and side a bit, because I've kind of made it a tradition to do this. I guess he is with the previous Titan class figure, Tidal Wave, who is, you can see, significantly taller by quite the margin. And the reason why this new Star Convoy, Star Optimus is so much smaller is because he's cheaper. Because they're kind of running out of, oh wait, we don't have any more big characters we can do we? So they decided to go ahead and drop the price point a little bit and make him a bit smaller. But yeah, definitely a weight difference as well. But yeah, that's give you an idea there. And of course, here he is compared with the now kind of dwarfed Megatron. Yeah, remember that the Generation Select Super Megatron, which is now way too small. I believe it's supposed to be like Megatron is 30 meters tall and Star Convoy is 45 meters tall. So, yeah, I guess 5'11". 5'11" versus 6'1", 6 foot, I guess. There's that. Here's Power of the Primes Optimus, just because this was, remember, this was retooled into Generation Select's Star Convoy by Takara. So that was the previous Star Convoy release, so just give you an idea there, the size difference between the two. It's not the Star Convoy, it's the same size as them, though, so, you know, gives you an idea of how, you know, the size difference. There's that. Here's a MMC Stellaris Prominion. Ooh, yeah, he's definitely smaller. Bit more, I guess, premium with the paint job, though, but yeah, you know, definitely smaller. Kind of almost in the same realm of simplicity. Well, almost, except for the, yeah, the backpack is a bit not so nice on him, but yeah, you can see the difference there. Very somewhat more stylized versus him. He's more G1 accurate. There's that. And here he is with a SS86 Optimus. Just give you an idea there. Yeah, a bit of a size difference there. And of course, here he is with all the rest of the primes released so far. There's Megatronus. Here's Vector, standing funny again. There you go. Yeah, there's Vector there, still standing funny. Here's Prima Prime. And here's Solus. Who, yep, you can see that. Quite the size difference there. I still don't have Optimus Prime. He should be coming in sometime in the next few months though, so that'll be soon. But yeah, there's the Primes so far that I have. Oh, and one last comparison. Here's the last release of the 13th Prime, you know, from the Optimus Primal. Yeah, I think there's a bit of a size difference there. So, there you go with the comparison. So, that is, that's Star Optimus. A very nice looking robot, to say the least. I really like him. The only thing, again, the biggest problem simply being the window. And that's a aesthetics issue. And the way the wrist transform, unfortunately, there was a design oversight which causes it to kind of slowly kind of mess itself up. So, okay, to transform him to his truck mode, first, of course, you gotta just take the, you know, gun out of his hand. Or guns, if you have both in there. But yeah, right here at the wrist, what you gotta do is you gotta open up this panel back here, right? It's like so. And then what you do is you push this back right here. It's on a slider. Push that back, and then you rotate it like this. And slide it this way, and then rotate it up again, and then slide it forward. And yeah, unfortunately, that's the thing that causes the tabs on the sides to kind of slowly grind down. So I'm probably gonna have to go in there and fix that, but yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. And so let's say that there's easy access screws right there. So yeah, anyway, do the same thing on this side. Open that up, then slide the wrist back, rotate it up like this, slide it down, rotate it the rest of the way, and then slide it forward like that, and close that up. Then you take both elbows and rotate them back like that, and then rotate the guns forward like that, or well, will be forward. Then in this front right here, what you do is untab the shoulder bits and just kind of bring them down against the backs of the elbows, and then rotate the arms like this. Then what you do is you go ahead and untab the sides of the arms and kind of bring them up to this point right there. Then you bring down the chest right here. Open this up right here, bringing those out. Then fold the head away like that. Make sure it'll kind of click into place. Then you go ahead and close this back up like that. And close these up right here. And then close these up right here like that. Yeah, close those up, the truck bits, and they'll then tab together like so. Like that. Then right here you want to go ahead and unfold these panels right here. And there's little slots in there. We'll go over these tabs right there. Like that. You take the whole torso and rotate it 180 degrees like so. Then from there, what you want to do is go ahead and take this back piece right here and open that up like this, and then bring it down. This will tab over right here, like that, and then these will come down like so, like that. They kind of tab in, but not really. Then what you want to do, coming down to the legs, and go ahead and just tab those together, like that. Make sure they tab together in the back too, like that. Then I'm going to go ahead and lie them down right here, like so. Yeah, like so. You can lie them down, and then untab these gray panels right here and bring them forward. I don't know why that came off. That. Bring them forward, and there's little pegs right here and a slot right here with this tab, and these peg holes will go over. Like. Come on. Okay, why is it fighting me? It's never fought me like this before. There we go. Yeah, I put that all squared away. And same thing on this side. Untab this panel. Bring it forward and peg and tab it in right there. Then that back here, what you want to do is go ahead and open up the legs right here. Want to open those up. So again, take the waist piece here and untap. There's a front panel. Untap that. Bring it back. Like so, it just kind of sits there, and the legs are gonna. There's little tabs right here in the kneecaps, which are gonna go in these little slots right here over top of this bit right here. Make sure it's all squared away. Just put none right there, like that, and then take the toes here and just fold them down like that. And then there you go. That is Star Optimus Prime in his vehicle mode. Yeah, it is. Well, it is Star Convoy's vehicle mode, which it's kind of weird, to be honest. It's always been a bit weird. You got this blatant truck thing, and it's all just, I think, hey, look, there's the gray and blue, and then, yeah, it's just kind of pretty obviously what's a pair of legs just kind of chilling out. That's always been the case. I mean, you got the treads right there. These do not move at all. They're plastic, you know, just moving plastic. But yeah, it does roll. Unfortunately, in mine, it seems to be bowing a bit. So what happens is that these front tires don't like to, you know, fully sit. Yeah, it does roll. The problem is, yeah, a lot of these tires are not picking up. Yeah, but yeah, there's also wheels back here, right here under the treads, and yeah, it kind of seems to be, mine seems to be bowing a bit. So it's, yeah, it keeps lifting the front off the ground. Makes me wonder if I accidentally got something out of alignment. Yeah, it's generally kind of a Star Convoy's vehicle mode, for better or for worse. It's long. It's really long, which is cool and all. But like, yeah, it's a solid chunk. There's no like pivot point or anything. It's really simplistic transformation. Yeah, it's a really simple transformation overall. It's just, yeah, it's just kind of cool. You got the cool blue stripe going down. You got the Autobot symbol back there. Yeah. It's decent. I don't know. You got the cool stuff like, hey, like there's the windows and there's a grill and, you know, headlights picked out in yellow right there in the front. There's nothing really on the back because that's the bottom of the feet. It's just, I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's just, I'm kind of just whelmed by it. I don't think it's exciting. I don't think it's terrible, but yeah, it's okay, I guess. So yeah, it's just kind of as it is. It's just kind of all right, I guess. As for accessory stuff, you can get take this gun right here, and you can peg this in right here, like that, if you want. Like that, you know, peg that in right there, and then of course this gun right here, you can go ahead and there's a big peg hole right here. You can just peg this big peg in right there, like that, and there you go. You can attach those guys, and if you want, you could, of course, yeah, take Rod and store them in the little truck thing, which is in there, and everything if you want. Blast effects, I guess you could just, you know, attach them all if you want as well. So yeah, you can do all that. But yeah, it's pretty decent. Although mine seems to be bowing in the middle, and I could see that it actually is bowing in the middle a little bit. It keeps bowing in the middle, but yeah, it's a big guy. You can see he takes up a good chunk of the frame. As for comparison stuff, what did I compare? What order did I do that in? Like previous Titan, it's gonna be a bit tricky too. Yeah, here's Tidal Wave again. Ugh, oh boy, yeah, it's a problem. You can see, yeah. Get that away. You can that folded, just get that so I can. Yeah. Previous. You know what you said? Yeah. Tidal wave is about this much longer. That's about 3 inches or so longer. Yeah, 2-3 inches. Yeah. He's definitely wider. You can see that. It's pretty obvious. You know. Yeah, tidal wave here is quite a bit wider. You can see that overall. But yeah, it's just kind of a. It's hard to get these both in the frame. Yeah, but tidal wave is a good chunk larger still. And here he is next to Super Megatron's tank mode, I guess. Kind of vehicle mode, sure, why not? Man, I forgot how goofy this thing kind of looked. But yeah, there they are next to each other in the one of the his vehicle modes. Yeah, here's again Power of the Prime's Optimus again. This is what was turned into Generation Select Star Convoy, so it gives you an idea just how much more massive he would be. You know, he is. Right there. He is next to MMC Stellaris Prominion, who again is significantly smaller in truck mode as well. Like so. And, oh, that's what happened there. The wheel came off again. I forgot to do that. Okay, there we go. That's better. Forgot to do that part. But yeah, you can see it's significantly smaller. That also more heavily stylized, which is kind of wild considering this is also very already stylized. Here's SS-86 Optimus. Again, just to give you an idea of the general size. Commander versus a smaller Titan. And of course, here are all the other primes so far. There's Megatronus and Vector, Prima, and Solus. You can see all of them together in vehicle mode. So there's that. And because, well, I guess here's his little Micromaster Hot Rod with him, just to give you an idea there. Size, because yeah, this idea was this was supposed to be the regular size hot rod, you know. So yeah, Star Convoy was huge. That was supposed to represent regular size hot rod there. So yeah, that gives you an idea of how massive hot rod is, or Star Optimus is. So there you go. So yeah, the truck mode is serviceable. It works. This transformation is very simple. It's just still always just kind of been weird. It's always been a little bit weird. This is very faithful to the original. But it's always been a bit of a weird truck, which kind of feels like it's just basically just Optimus lied down. But yeah, he has one more mode, which is the base mode. Which yeah, to do that, you got to go ahead and take the guns off again, like that, and then coming on here, you got to come down here, take the toes, and rotate those back up, like that. Then open these up, and just might as well leave them open because they're going to stay open anyway. And then fold this up right here. For now, get these tabbed and unpegged, like so. Get those just out of the way, like so. Then you go ahead and take this bit right here. Take these and open those up, and then unfold those, tab that back in, and close that up right here. And then right here, what you're going to do is then go ahead and just rotate. Yeah, bring these hip skirts up right here as well, and then just rotate this up like this. Like that, and take this this little blue stick here on the back on his butt, and then just bring this down like that, and that's gonna kind of sit there like that. And on top of that, you take the platform on the back here, just take that and remove that for now. Yeah, no, you don't bring these toes up. Never mind. I'm stupid. You don't rotate the toes. Got ahead of myself. Do like yeah. So you do that. Bring it like this. Then right here, what you want to do is go ahead and then yeah. Fold this again, so then rotate this like this, and then go ahead and refold this back up like that. So it looks like that. You untab these bits, rotate those in, untab the top of the truck, or right there, move those up out, bring this down, rotate the head out, rotate the head on, into place like so. Close this up, and close this up right there, and then bring these down and into place like that. Tap them in place, bring them down. Actually, this one you're gonna have to close that up, straighten this out, and bring it forward, then bring it down. Not a lot of room on that side. Yeah, rotate these however you want, like that. And close this up right here, rotate this forward or whatever, bring this down. And then, of course, on the forearms, you've got to, you know, open that up, slide the hand back, rotate it up, you know, rotate and slide multiple times. And man, that is getting real mangled up. It's supposed to be like this. And same thing with this one. This one's a little annoying. Yeah. Open up this panel, slide the hand out, rotate it like this, rotate it back up, rotate it around, and then slide it back in. That. So, and then take the head here, you're supposed to then untab this, and so bring it forward like this. These panels are supposed to just come forward like here, like so. Just kind of, they don't really tab in, they just kind of sit there like that, from what I could see. Just gonna sit there. And then this thing, what you want to do, is you want to unfold these panels right here, like that. Come on this side, rotate around, and open up these panels. Open up these panels right here, like that, and then open up, and then untab that and bring that back like this, and untab this one, bring that back like so, and this right here, this peg hole right here, will go into a peg right there, like that, and yeah, that's the base mode. More or less. And of course, yeah, you could, of course, take this thing and to get out of the leg. Actually, also take these and fold these down as well. You take these and push these down as well. Get this and get in here and do this, get this truck out. That's what I mean, is it's a pain in the butt. There we go. Got that out. And you can also pick this that little gray thing out. Yeah. So you got all that, right? Yeah, and then you also go ahead and take the gun and just, you know, peg it in his hand again. Like so. This hand, you can, yeah, they want you to do the whole, this whole thing, you know, plugging this in and pegging this into the hand. Like that. They want you to do that in particular. Seems like this right here can, you know, do the same thing you did before, which you unpeg that and, you know, peg that up here and don't pull that out of the hinge. And bring that around and then just like right here, there's little pegs right here. There's a peg and a divot right here. You just peg this in like that. That sits right there. And this gun right here, you can unfold that and this will clip into place right there, and there's a spot right here. You can go ahead and plug that in right there, like this, and this you're gonna have to get out of the way a little bit, but yeah. Now you got the full base mode complete. Yeah, and you can do all that stuff, and yeah, it's that sure is a base mode. I'm not gonna do any comparisons to this mode because there's not enough room. I was talking about doing Tidal Wave. There's not enough room to me to show them next to each other. And the Stellaris Pro Minion doesn't have a base mode. So, yeah. Gotta bring this out too. Totally forgot. There we go. Yeah, so this is the base mode. It's always been a bit weird, to be honest. It's always been a bit weird, and it still is. It feels a little rickety, to be honest. This whole section is held on by one peg and peg. This is because, you know, it's so empty. There's like nothing holding it in place anymore. So like there's like nothing holding this together. So it's just like I guess it's supposed to be two garage bays, I guess. But because of the pegging necessary for, you know, to making sure it actually works with the truck piece, there's bits in there. So yeah, you got these garage bays. I guess you got this truck thing right there. You got basically half a robot just chilling out right there with his head, you know, desperately trying to pretend it's not there. I guess it's supposed to be guns now, and I guess you can use these as, you know, swivel these around and, you know, I guess do that. So now it's I guess a turret, but yeah, it's kind of odd. Yeah, and again, Hot Rod, you can once again they show this vest is kind of official, which, you know, have a Hot Rod just kind of chill out in here again if you want. Which I guess that's one thing you do. You can also leave this open if you want, but yeah, looks a little messier that way. Or there's one other cool thing, which is the turret, because yeah, this is probably one of the cooler things. You can get Hot Rod on this turret, mounted on this turret, and you gotta fold the feet down on him right here, right? You gotta get him kind of positioned. You gotta get the arms bent, and you gotta get the legs bent right. You just kind of, the legs wrap around here. These little, see these little posts right there? Those kind of go in these little notches right here. See? Just kind of go in there like that. This is not exactly intuitive, and it's yeah, easy to get out of alignment, to say the least. And also, it's not super sturdy in my opinion either. It doesn't always like to stay in place, to say the least. Yeah, once you get those, once you get these posts kind of in there, what you do is then you, once you get that in there, then you fold the foot up, and that just kind of wraps around. It kind of somewhat locks into place. I say somewhat. It's not 100%, but yeah, that's supposed to kind of help lock him into place. It's supposed to, anyway. Again, it doesn't seem to work super great sometimes. There, got it locked in. Now, I'm sitting upright, and there. Now he's manning the turret. Yeah, getting that locked in is a bit of a pain. If once you actually get it locked in, it somewhat becomes secure. But getting to that point where it's actually securely on there is really difficult. But yeah, it's on the turret, so then you could, it's easier to, again, the reason I removed it because it's much easier to do this out on the turret, you know, on the base. You plug the turret in into this bit right here. And here's the cool bit. Got to get this arm out of the way. There's a little dial right here. And then, hey, look. A turret can spin. Unfortunately, the feet are dragging a little bit, but yeah, the turret can spin with a hot rod on it, which is pretty cool. It's one of those neat little features, and also on top of that, it's got the little airlock system that from like they've been doing since, or at least Earthrise now. Still has the airlock system on these ramps and on these ramps over here. So, yeah. It's kind of neat, but also it's kind of neat in that fun, goofy, like, okay, yeah, sure. It's like, feels very 80s. I mean, again, you got half a robot just chilling out at the center of the base. And like, heck, there's some pictures even show it with Optimus with, Optimus here or Convoy just kind of, with his head out. Like, yeah, he's just half transformed, just kind of chilling. But yeah, it's, sure is a thing. It also feels just kind of crowded. The arms feel like they are just kind of bunched in there. Which is weird, because instructions show the arms like, straight, almost not straight down, but, at least the shoulders straight down with the elbows bent. And like, how? There's no room for that. I just don't have the room for that, unless I'm missing something. There's like a slider or something? Well, not quite bent down, but yeah, it just feels like should be more room than there is, in a sense. Oh yeah, okay, so I also peg this thing on this other side too, I almost forgot, yeah. But it's just it's just a weird base mode. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, if you vibe with this might be cool for you. But yeah, there's a lot of people who are going to look at this and go, this is stupid, and just not want this toy, which is understandable. So yeah, overall, this is the thing about this toy. Should you get this figure? Again, they did the whole thing where because he's smaller, they made him cheaper. The previous few Titans have all been $200. He's $150. There's a drop to price $50. But he is still pretty large, but he's not, as you saw, he's not as big as Tidal Wave, for example, which was, people complained that he was so small compared to Wave, but they did drop the price $50. He is kind of hollow, but that is kind of necessary because, between the transformation, his head has to go somewhere. There's a storage in his legs, and how it's supposed to be for the base mode and everything. There's that. And also you don't want him too heavy, because then it's like, then people complain it's so hard to because now the ratchets have to be heavier and so on and so forth. And now you got the thing people complained about before, which is, now the ratchets are breaking the plastic or whatever. He's fairly posable. He's got some limitations. His knees don't bend quite 90 degrees. His forward hip movement is a little bit hampered, and on top of that, unfortunately, his head is only a swivel, no ball joint or anything. Probably because of this whole for the base mode here. Yeah, his transformation is also really simple, like really, really simple. There's not a whole lot to it. It's really fast and simple, which is both a positive and a negative. It's simple to the point. I'm kind of bored when I do it. It's not exactly exciting. The only thing that I even find even remotely kind of like, oh, that's clever, is the bits with the wrists. And even that, unfortunately, has a problem, which is, you know, it kind of just shreds itself apart over time, it looks like. On top of that, some people also there's also a complaint that the chest window isn't quite seated on most copies, but that's a aesthetic minor thing that's easy to fix too. So I don't know. And on top of that, the base mode feels kind of rickety. The base mode there's nothing solid about it. Like, I wish these kind of could peg tab together without the platform here, because these are basically what's tabbing the legs together in like alt mode is this back piece. But now it's also pegged in over here, and it also just feels rickety, and just the center portion kind of feels incomplete. Like it just kind of tells you to rest this panel against there, and that's that. You're done. So it just kind of feels it feels like it could have used a little bit more engineering for the base mode in particular. The truck mode looks pretty good. Just again, it's kind of simple, and the base mode is just kind of in this weird zone of like, yeah, either you vibe with it and you accept the just general goofiness of this base mode, or you don't. So that's where the thing is like, so. And this is kind of a third of the figure is the base mode. So that's the thing is like, if you vibe with this, great. If you don't, well, it's going to be hard to justify. So that's the big thing. Is like, do you vibe with all three modes? If you do, yeah, it might be worth it. Just be aware of some of the two problems that he has. Might have to, you know, might require fixing of some sort. If you don't, I don't think anything can really change this. You know, I don't think there's anything about this, in particular the base mode. If the base mode or the simplicity of it or whatever bothers you, it might not be worth it. I don't know how well this guy is going to sell. All the other Titans have gone on clearance, but this one's an Optimus, so or Convoy or whatever you want to call him. So that might change the equation a little bit, but yeah, we'll see how I guess it works out. But at 150, for me personally, I generally like it. I have my qualms about it. I kind of like it, but I'm not like thoroughly impressed by it. I'm just kind of, I like it well enough, you know. That's my problem. Is like I feel like I just kind of, it's good. I guess it's pretty good, and that's where I'm at. It's pretty good, but nothing particularly. It doesn't really particularly excite me in any real way. I was really excited when it showed up, and then I kind of messed with it. And so, oh yeah, I'll say that I definitely got a couple figures recently that excited me a lot more than this thing, and you'll be seeing them pretty soon. But yeah. So yeah, it's nice. It's really hard to. It's kind of one of those things that just barely. I feel like it just barely justifies its price, just barely. That's me being kind of. I think might be just being a little bit generous towards it. So there you go. I hope you found this review informative and entertaining. Hope you like, comment, subscribe. Check out my social media down in the description at the end of the video. Check out my coffee and my Patreon. I shall see you next time with another video review.